everyone, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be doing the Booktube Newbie tag. So I don't know exactly who created this tag, but I will find out, and it will be in the description box down below. I saw this video on the Clockwork Readers channel, and I'll link her down below as well, but I thought it was a good introductory video for my Booktube channel that I'm kind of just starting out on. And let's get into the questions. I'm sure you guys have seen some of these tags, this tag, before. Words are hard. So number one is, why did you start your channel? And I feel like this is very obvious. I like to read, and I feel that having a specific reason to read, like, because I would need to post content, will help me read more. I've noticed in the last couple of years, just because I am in the food and beverage industry, I'm in the event industry, that I work more than I do anything else, and I don't get to read as much. So I thought that because I like reading, that this would force me to read, to talk to you guys about it. Plus, a lot of my friends that read are too far away to like constantly talk to and all that kind of stuff, so I thought it would be a good way to make new friends with common interests, as YouTube tends to try to bring people together. Number two is, what is a fun or unique thing that you would bring to Booktube, not YouTube, but Booktube? And for that, honestly, I don't know that necessarily there's anything super fun or unique about the way I'm going to approach my channel for Booktube, or like for the book side of YouTube. I just want to come on and talk to like-minded individuals about things that I like. I'm very good at English. And I'm going to have a little bit of like bullet journaling on here, book reviews, talking about my books that I'm reading, talking about stuff that I'm writing, so it'll be a little bit of that as well if you guys are interested. And I mean, it's kind of just an organic situation that will ebb and flow and grow as it may, so we're just gonna go with it. Number three is, what are you most excited about for your channel? And honestly, just books. I'm excited about books. I finally got a library card in my new city, and in case you have been on my other channel, like my beauty related channel, I have lived here for 3 years. I've had this same setup in the background for 3 years, and so yeah, I finally got a library card and went and have been getting books from the library. So hallelujah, I'm very excited to read books. That is what I'm most excited about for this channel. Number four is, why do you love reading? And for me, as a small person, I always remember my mom reading at night. Like, she just reads all the time. And I always just thought that was super normal as a child. Like, we would go to the library for fun, and in my hometown, you have to go all the way to downtown, you know, to the big library, and that was such a treat when we were little, which really, it's like a 10-minute drive. It's not that big of a deal, but we used to beg her to take us to the big library, and I think that just like wore off on me. Like, she would always read, and I just thought that it was just normal that everyone read that much. And then I met my gonna-be husband, and that is not normal for everyone apparently, but myself and like my best friend, that was just how we were. That's how we were raised. We just read a lot, so that's why I love it. It was ingrained in me at a very small age. Number five is, what book or series got you into reading? And honestly, the series that really got me into reading were the Sweet Valley High books. Like, I'll pop up a picture of a couple of them. Like, do you guys remember those? I feel like they were published before, like, for my mom's adolescence-ish. I don't really know when they were published, but I still have so many of those at my parents' house, like on my shelf, and I refuse to get rid of them. When I was going through and getting rid of a bunch of stuff after college, I was like, I'm keeping these. They are my adolescence. So, I feel like that, and I feel like probably the Twilight series, which I've actually heard a lot, like watching a couple of these tags, is that people are like, oh, the Twilight series got me into reading. And I was like, oh, that's so cringy. But it's true. I devoured that series when it first came out. I was obsessed with it, except for Breaking Dawn, because I hate Breaking Dawn. The book, the movie. I just hated that book. That is another rant for another time. Let's keep going. So number 6 is, what questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? And I don't think I necessarily have like a favorite booktuber. I watch a lot of random people, and if there's anybody that you love to watch, I'd love for you to drop their channel name down below for me to check them out. Just because I'm always looking for new opinions, and I kind of sway. I'm not like dedicated to one genre or like I'm not like obsessed. Like, I'm very like, I kind of can read anything, but I like certain things. So I'm pretty open to book recommendations from anybody. I would just want to know how they read so much and stay on top of everything else. Do you have a housekeeper? How do you do that? I just want to know. That's all I want to know. Number 7 is, what challenges do you think will be the hardest to overcome? And honestly, I think the challenges for me that's going to be the hardest is just carving out time to read. Like getting up earlier in the morning, staying up a little bit later at night. Right now I've been showing up to work 20 minutes early and reading in my car in the parking lot. Because it's quiet and peaceful and nice. And usually people don't bother me. Except a couple of my staff will stop and knock on my windows and stuff because they see me. But usually they leave me alone because I know it's like my peace, my quiet time. And then I found like 3 bonus questions that were in someone else's newbie booktuber tag. This is from Lindsay Literally. And so number 8 is, when did you start reading? And like I kind of said in the first section of like why you love reading, is I feel like I started reading really young. And not to be like, oh, I was advanced for my age, but my sister and I started reading early, and we were in like the advanced section of like, when you're in 1st and 2nd grade, there's like sections of readers, and we were in the advanced section because like my mom read to us a lot and like taught us how to read, and my grandparents and stuff, they were really active in reading to us and like having us read to them and learning. So I started to read super young. That is my answer. All right. Next question is, where do you read? And for that, honestly, I kind of read wherever. I don't have a problem reading in cars. I don't have a problem reading on like planes and like in crowded places, or if there's noise. I can read wherever, which apparently is very strange, and people sometimes comment on that if I'm reading like on a boat or things like that. People are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, enjoying the peace and quiet that I had for the last 20 seconds before you talk to me. That's what I was doing. And then the last question is, what kind of books do you like to read? And for me, again, like I kind of said, it varies. I like a lot of things. Right now I'm reading like a young adult contemporary that I'm actually really into, which there'll be a review of that coming up soon because it is a new release. But I really like fantasy, romance. I like it all. But I like, let's see, I'm trying to think of what I've read recently that I was like, that I really, really liked. I just finished reading The Court of Thorns and Roses and Thorns, Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I just finished that series and savored that, the 3rd book. I drug that thing out for almost 6 months. And I'm not ashamed. Like, I have been reading that for so long because I just didn't want it to end. And now that it's ended, I have like the Court of Starlight and Fire, whatever the little spin-off one is. But I know that's only going to take me like a day to read, and it's going to crush me when it is over. So I have just been waiting to read it, basically. I don't know. Is that weird? I feel like that's so weird. When I say that to people, they like don't understand what I'm talking about because I get like weirdly attached to books, series, and books. I'm basically down for anything. Like I said, I'm pretty easygoing with books. So if you have a book you're loving, recommend it down below. I will have my Goodreads linked, and I have like my want to read book list, I finally downloaded the app to my phone, and every time I'm watching booktube, I'll like pause it and like jump over on my phone to the app and like write it in, like search the book, save it to my want to read list, and then jump back to YouTube and keep watching because I don't want to forget. And luckily for me, the library here is pretty big, so they have pretty much anything that I want in any genre. But I do mostly stick to young adult or new adult fiction. There is some adult fiction that I really, really like. I'm not a super big nonfiction fan, but I do read it from time to time. I did read both of like The Girl Wash Your Face, those two books recently, and I have them, like I have the hard copies, and those I enjoyed, but the more, like I went back and I reread the first one, and I'm kind of like, ooh, I did get caught up in the hype. This isn't really that exciting. So that is everything for this newbie booktuber tag. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to hang out with me more on social media, I will have my links down below and up on the screen here. It is HowCourtneySeesIt everywhere: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and I can link my main channel down there if you guys are interested, but this channel is just going to be dedicated to all my other stuff, and my main channel is just for beauty. So I don't even want to call it my main channel. My other channel. It's just for panning and like makeup and things like that. I love you guys. Like I said, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting me in this new adventure, and if you want to hang out with me more, definitely subscribe down below. And if you have a channel, let me know in the comments, and I will jump over and check your channel out as well, because I'm always down to make new friends and listen to your recommendations as well. I love you guys. I said that like 4 times. I'm going to go now. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, everybody.